What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at MSTR today. It's going to be more of a video just to kind of get a bigger picture, see where things are still headed, and kind of just talk about what's been going on lately, and let's see where things could potentially go. Of course, I don't know where things are going to go, but I'll try and give you my best judgment. If you've been around this channel for some time, you'll know that we speak about these flagpoles here. So you have that first one, you have this one here. And when you measure them out, you can see that this flagpole was able to call this next move here almost to the T. And this one here, hopefully, can call this next move. I know it's hard to see that after seeing the little deviation from Bitcoin the past couple trading days, but I don't think it's the end of the world, not yet at least. If this were to continue, maybe for another month and a half, 2 months, where Bitcoin's just continuously rallying and MSTR continues to fall off, then maybe that could be a cause of concern. But for now, I think we're okay. I think we can get back on track and continue to follow Bitcoin. It's not going to be a direct correlation MSTR to Bitcoin, so just always keep that in mind. But we're still on track pretty much to hit that target that we've been speaking of for a long time. Like I said, if you've been around the channel, then you know that we have been talking about something around that region, give or take. Also, if you're new, welcome to the channel. I appreciate everybody who's been supporting. Appreciate all you guys, every single one of you guys, seriously. It's been a lot of new people, a lot of people that consistently, watch, support. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. I started this thing for fun, like two and a half months ago, something like that. And it's just been going very well. We're growing a lot, getting a lot of people on the channel. And hopefully, making people money. I know the last couple days hasn't been too great, but like I said, we have to take a larger look. We were accumulating all, this is actually kind of when I started the channel, but we were accumulating all within this zone. So if you were with the channel for this time, you were accumulating all the way down here, 250s, all the way down to 240s, 230s, maybe even up to 300 or so. So hopefully you made some money, and this drawdown isn't anything significant for you. But if you look here, you can see we're still pretty much on track. We did deviate a little bit, but if you know MSTR, you know that it can ramp up very quickly. The best case scenario that we could think of next week would be getting a wick fill. If we get a wick fill, then I think we're right back in the game. So imagine this being an entire wick, and then the body of the candle, taking over this part of this wick here. So that'd be nice. But we'll see. I mean, we're gonna open down here, so maybe it'll be a nice engulfing candle. I don't know. We'll see how things play out, but that would be the best case scenario. On the monthly, we're still we got serious rejection going on, but we're still inside the channel. We're still holding this level of support right now. This is a level that we've been speaking about for a long time as well, to the downside, and it turned out to be more bearish than I anticipated. We literally broke over it for maybe like an hour or something, or 2 hours on one of these days, and we just got rejected from there. So this golden zone is a very, very strong level, and I do think once we break it, it'll relieve price a little bit. The ideal scenario, of course, is breaking above here, retesting and pushing up higher. But yeah, I just think we got to take a step back and just look at the price action that we've had. I mean, we're talking about 5 weeks straight of green candles. Then we got this red candle here, which wasn't even very bearish. And then we finally got one pretty bearish candle with a wick on the top, pushing to the downside, right? So, I mean, you really only have one really bearish candle out of all of these 6 weeks here. So the first 5 were green, then it was kind of like a neutral candle. It wasn't too bearish, wasn't bullish either. And then you have this one that's pretty bearish, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Like I said, you need some kind of pullback. I mean, even in this move here, we had, a couple pullbacks, and then we had the major moves up. But let's see if we take a fib here from this bottom to the top here. So the only thing that matters is to the right, because you're taking this leg up here. And you can see you land somewhere between the 236 and the 382 in confluence with this level of support and resistance. So let's see if this level holds and we can get a nice little bounce. That would be the ideal scenario, of course. But we're in between here. So let's see, once we got that first pullback in this move here, I'll do some kind of similar comparison where there was a pullback after what, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th candle. If you look at this pullback, I don't know if this is going to be, completely relevant, but it's just something to look at. I'm just trying to compare a pullback early in the leg up, because over here this is more like this is midway through the entire move. This is still very early, and I think this is still very early. When you look at this pullback, it actually pulled back below the 236, but never touched the 382. So what if we get something similar to that here? Obviously, this candle looks a lot more bearish, here on the weekly than this one did. Who knows what's going to happen next week? I hope it doesn't continue on down. It could. It definitely could. But yeah, it's just something to take note of. We fell underneath the 236, but we held the 382. So let's see if on this one we already fallen underneath the 236, but let's see if we hold above the 382 and start moving up higher. Either way, there's still very bullish zones on the Fibonacci sequence. And when this did pull back, it did find a level of support or resistance, and this one's currently finding a level of support or resistance right now. So let's see what happens. I think we can still move up much higher. I know we've been, deviating from Bitcoin, but when you take a look at global liquidity, things are still looking pretty good. This is a 56-day lag, I believe. And it kind of looks pretty similar. It looks pretty similar. But you can see you had a sharp drop here, and we got that sharp drop now. So I kind of wonder if this was, like, I want to overlay Bitcoin actually and see where that kind of lines up. So yeah, maybe Bitcoin kind of just did its own thing, because maybe MSTR was following global liquidity on this move with this sharp drop, just how global liquidity had a sharp drop here, for instance. If we're in this zone, I don't know exactly where we're at, but I'm just saying if we're right here, maybe that sharp drop is why we have this move. But Bitcoin was kind of just on its own little wave in this little scenario. I mean, who knows? I also did notice that kind of following the NASDAQ a little bit more in this most recent move. You can see we got that drop practically at the same time that the NASDAQ did. So MSTR is kind of following the NASDAQ in a sense. I'm not going to say, exactly, but this is something to keep in mind. But yeah, the NASDAQ is here in the pink. It seems like it's been pretty correlated with the NASDAQ for the most part. It's been correlated with global liquidity and the NASDAQ, but global liquidity is also tied to other equities, and index funds like the NASDAQ. So it kind of makes sense that triple Qs is doing the same thing. Because if global liquidity goes up, then equities are going to be going up, because that's just more money flowing through the global economy, through the US, into the stock market and stuff like that. But it's just something I noticed. So maybe if this is where we're at, maybe we get a nice move up. I haven't lost hope yet, so it is frustrating. I totally understand, but I think we're okay. Of course, this isn't financial advice, so don't make any trading decisions based off of what I'm saying. I can be totally wrong, and we could fall way further than I anticipate. Let me talk about the worst case scenarios, or not worst case scenarios, but what I can kind of see playing out. So bullish scenario, what I want to see happen, of course, what most of you guys want to see happen, unless you're shorting it. But I don't think too many people on this channel are shorting it. Or actually, you know what? People may be shorting now after this price action, but I don't know if that's going to be a good idea, to be honest. But you do whatever you want. It's your money. What I want to see happen, what everybody wants to see happen. Scenario one, bullish scenario, is this week we get a nice engulfing candle and we close close to the top of this range or this golden zone or even higher. That'd be the bullish scenario, retest and push up higher. Bearish scenario is we open here at 369 or something, or we open lower, we'll see. But let's say we open here, we push up to the golden zone, we wick back down. So this turns into a wick, and then you have a red body of a candle. Solid red body all the way down, you know. I don't know how low it'll go, but that would be the worst case scenario. We push up, wick back down, and we end up getting a close here, then retest, and now we're playing with the bottom of this channel, which we definitely don't want to be messing with, because now you bounce off of here, you break this, and it's game over. Not game over necessarily, but you can go way further down. So we definitely don't want to lose that. We've held it all the way back to October 2023. So we gotta hold that. I mean, we lose this channel, then we're in big trouble. But I don't think we will. But I could also be wrong. So short it if you want, buy it if you want. It's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I see. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think. I know, you know, the ATM has been crushing us and stuff like that. But when you look, even in the November run and stuff like that, he was still doing ATMs. This entire move here, he was still doing ATMs. So it might not have been as much as we're getting right now, but the price should still run up. Maybe it's not going to have as dramatic of a run, but maybe we get 75-80% of this run, because he was still, you know, doing the same thing in this time frame. So I don't see why price couldn't run. If you get a strong run on Bitcoin, you know, in a 2-week span where he's only able to do one ATM at that time, price should be able to close that gap relatively quickly. So, and what we're going to continue monitoring is the MSTR divided by Bitcoin. This is going to be the big one. This is pretty much, is MSTR doing its job? So we'll see where things go. So we'll see. I mean, are we creating a double top? Or is this just a temporary pullback like we've seen here? We've had a pullback once. Maybe this is just a second pullback. So let's see. I mean, pull a fib on this move here. We pulled back just below the 618, closer to the 786, and we rallied up. If you pull it up from this leg to the top, we're sitting at the golden zone right now. So let's see if we get a bounce. And if we pull it on a closer time frame, then we are actually right at the same level that we were on this first one. We're below the 618, pushing towards that 786. So let's see if we get that turnaround. Nice green engulfing candle, pushing to the upside. That's what we want to see. That's all I have for you guys. Like and subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Share with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next one.